Off Grid, and I am on a road trip on Christmas. Well, actually, this is Christmas Eve. Tomorrow's Christmas, and I'm relocating myself from the San Francisco Bay Area to Arizona, where I'm going to be hanging out with my significant other for effectively 2 weeks. And they are actually driving separately, partially because obviously we can take this car. I don't have another seat, but I'm planning to keep on my own trip, and they're going to be going back, so we're traveling separately. And then also so I get to have my car with all my stuff, and they have their vehicle pulling a trailer RV. Now, if you're thinking about traveling this time of year, actually doing a road trip where you're doing the driving on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, I highly recommend, because so far there's not traffic. It is so nice. Like, it is not rush hour traffic, not holiday traffic. So, I mean, everybody probably went on Friday or Saturday, and this is Sunday. So it's Sunday at Christmas Eve itself. Now, I did see my son. We opened up presents and stuff. And actually, I haven't completely opened up all my presents. Some of it I saved for tomorrow. What I'm thinking I'm going to do is sometime tomorrow, I'm going to stop somewhere and open up my presents for my mom and dad and from my son. But besides that, my son opened presents. I got to watch them, so that was fun. And we obviously saw each other in person to have a nice meal together. And also, my son cooked. My son made gnocchi soup that actually was kind of styled off of the one that they serve at the Olive Garden, but what my son makes is nothing like the one that they serve at Olive Garden, because they totally made it to their own. So good, so good. Just chicken. It's actually they actually make it more like a stew, so it's super thick. I'll put a picture up here so you can see the wonderful meal that they made for me for Christmas. That's kind of my Christmas meal, because since I'm actually relocating myself to a different part of the country, to a different state on Christmas Eve and Christmas, I'm not going to have a Christmas meal. I have, protein bar. Tonight, when I get to where I'm going to stop, I'm probably going to make myself like a sandwich. Well, I think I don't have any bread. I just have tortillas, so it'll be a wrap. And I have stuff in my cooler, so I have plenty of things to eat, even if I don't cook anything. And then tomorrow, we'll see, we'll see how I wake up, because this morning I woke up with a migraine. It was day 2 of this migraine. So yesterday I took a Suma trip down, but the migraine came back today. I took a Suma trip down today, which definitely worked. I definitely feel good right now, but we don't know how it's going to be tomorrow. So about half the time I have 2 days of migraines, and I take Suma triptans and it works. I get a migraine on day 3 and I can't take a Suma triptan again. You can only take 2 a week. And then half the time it's done. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm hoping not, for many reasons, because one of them, it sucks to have a migraine, but also because I really don't want to have to drive like 8 hours with a migraine. That's just fun. I'm thinking I'm going to spend the night at a rest stop. There are many rest stops along this route. I'm driving down Highway 5 right now. So there's many rest stops on Highway 5, and then I'll be going on the 210 and then the 10. So tons of rest stops. No problem finding anywhere, I'm thinking, especially since I'll stop relatively early, which means there'll still be places. It'll be interesting to see how busy the rest stops are on Christmas Eve, because there's not hardly any traffic out here at all. And I'm not seeing any tractor trailers. I mean, I saw maybe on the 152, which is the highway I took before then, I saw, I don't know, a total of 3 on that entire 50-mile thing. I see one way up there. I mean, it's tons of them, but I'm assuming they're somewhere to celebrate Christmas, right? Obviously, some people still have to drive tractor trailers on holidays because there's things that need to be transported, but there's probably a big rush right before, and then there'll be a little bit of a lull. All right, I'm past this guy. So I still have my wrist brace on. I actually didn't have to wear it for a while, and then yesterday, my wrist started hurting. Nothing happened. It just randomly started hurting, so I don't even know what to tell you. So, as I said, I'm on this trip with my significant other. We're not like caravanning where we can see each other when we drive, because I'm driving a car and they're pulling a trailer. So they have to go 55 miles an hour. I can go 70 or whatever. And also, they can drive much later into the evening than I can. So I'm going to stop. I don't actually know what time. I'll see how I feel. But I'm going to stop, not that long from now, even though it's only 4:30. I'll probably stop in 2, 3, maybe 4 hours. But I mean, that's pushing it. Well, I would imagine they're probably going to drive a lot. They'll probably drive till 9 or 10 o'clock at night, at least. That would be the earliest they would stop, unless they're just absolutely exhausted. But I plan to wake up, I'll pretty much just wake up in the morning, go to the bathroom at the rest stop, and head on the road. I will probably get gas, you know, but and it says it will be Christmas morning. I'm not sure what will be open as far as like if I'm going to get coffee somewhere or if I'm just going to, you know, have my iced tea. One thing that I was talking to my significant other about that I kind of didn't think about is I'm planning on this trip to go to some cold places. Probably not where we're going to be, because we're going to be a lot more in southern Arizona. But then after that, when I'm by myself, I plan to go to some cold places. Because one of my goals for this trip is to figure out camping in the cold, you know, sleeping in my car in the cold. And I mean actual cold, like it when getting down to 20 or 10 degrees Fahrenheit and being able to sleep. Because that would really open up a lot of places I can go. But in the trunk of my car, I have cans of sparkling water, the lime sparkling water, and I have iced tea in bottles. And I'm like, so that the cans would explode, I think, if they froze. Now the iced tea, I was actually thinking what I could do is I could crack them so that way they I could actually put all that stuff in my cooler and use my cooler to keep it from freezing, you know? So yeah, because the cooler will have so much water in it to freeze all of that. Like I'm thinking that might be the way to do it. This highway, the 5 in California, this part, the central California, I think is horribly boring. I just like it so much doing this drive. Partially because I've driven it so many times. Actually, this part I haven't driven quite as many times recently as the part that's north of the Bay Area. But still, it's just like, oh. Now, it's actually not bad now because there's not that many tractor trailers. So it's kind of, yeah, I'm fairly neutral on it right this second. But yeah, it's not the most interesting drive. I can see pretty far, but most of this is just the flat part of Central California. A little bit of hills over here, so I'll show you. So it will be interesting being on this trip with another person. I haven't traveled with another person since, when was it? It was a year and a half ago. I went on a road trip with my son. We stayed in hotels, motels and stuff on that trip. My significant other and I had a trip with my son that was 2.5 years ago, something like that. It was like during the pandemic. And the same kind of thing, we actually drove separately because we were going different directions after where we were staying. But yeah, it's been a long time since I've traveled with other people, and especially since I lived in my car. So one of the things that I am reminding myself over and over again for this trip is that it is about my significant other and I spending time together. That it will not really be kind of according to like my normal schedule when I'm by myself, where I, you know, get up before sunrise and I'm out hiking super early, or, you know, like the things that I tend to do, because I'm also with somebody else. And the thing is, it's actually like I used to get really like, I don't know, upset when I couldn't stay on my schedule and like go place, do the things, do all this stuff and make sure we get everything done. I don't really have that feeling now because I know I can always go back to any of these places again by myself to do things that I want to do that we didn't get to do. So like, I'm very chill. I might even go back after these 2 weeks and my significant other leaves, and I might keep continuing on. I might even go back to some of the places and do things that I want to do but they didn't want to or whatever. So it's actually very helpful for me psychologically, the fact that I live in a car and can travel effectively whenever I want. So when I'm traveling with another person, I can just be hanging out with them in those places and not feel like I need to like be productive on this vacation and do all these things that ends up being very stressful, you know. So I'm actually very happy about that. I'm also looking forward to the fact that my significant other cooks for me. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm going to do some of the cooking too, but they enjoy cooking and they enjoy cooking for me and I like eating it. So like the last 2 days, not today, but the last couple of days, they've been making me omelets and stuff. Nice. Okay, so this is not where I'm going to spend the night. Just went here to the bathroom and met up with my significant other and we ate and stuff like that. So I'm only going to go for another hour. I mean, this is the thing. It's actually since I left so late, I don't have a good judge of how much driving I have in me. But I think the best thing for me to do is kind of go to bed at the same time that I normally would do and kind of stop and do my bedtime routine and all that same thing. So I you can hopefully get a good night's sleep and feel good tomorrow. That is the idea. So I'm off. Good morning. I have left the rest stop and gotten some fuel, and now I'm about to get on the highway. It is weird being on
Turn right onto the 5 South ramp
at 6 a.m. or 5:58 a.m. on Christmas morning, because there ain't nobody else out here. I mean, there's a few people, but I mean, it's so weird. 5 is usually always packed all the time. Yeah, it is amazing, the effect of a holiday. Where am I? Where's the ramp taking me? Oh, here we go. Don't have to worry about getting up to speed because there's nobody for like half a month. I slept great at the rest stop, just as well as I do when I'm sleeping at my spot in town. I mean, I yet again love rest stops. And I just looked at the camera, I'm like, wow, you can't see me at all. It's so dark. I'll talk later once the sun rises. Good morning, everyone. Today is Christmas Day, and it is now light, so I can actually record video a little bit. The sun just came up not that long ago. So it is okay. I don't have my phone in anything that's very stable because it's like way over there and I don't want to struggle, right? I'm not going down the 5. So it is interesting road tripping with another person. So the person I'm with is pulling a trailer, so they have to go much slower. In California, if you're pulling a trailer, the speed limit is 55. I'm in a car, so the speed limit is either 65 or 70, depending upon the highway. And I typically go like 72 or 74. I don't go really fast. I'm in a Honda Civic that's 10 plus years old, so it just doesn't make any sense to do. Anyway, it's so like we leapfrog each other, kind of. And they actually drove farther than me last night, but I actually then passed them this morning. But then we ended up stopping at the same place, and we both got coffee and said hi and had a hug and everything like that, which was actually really nice. It is interesting traveling with another person in separate cars, you know. It makes this part of it more fun, this part where you're just kind of relocating across the country. Because right now, like, we're going to Arizona, and that's where we have, you know, campgrounds, and like we're going to all the different, you know, going to national parks and stuff. We'll see exactly where we go because it does depend upon weather, of course. But we all got different plans that we're going to do, as well as just hanging out, you know, in state parks. But this, you know, relocating across the country can be somewhat boring. Now, since normally I would hate this drive, with there's hardly any cars, it's actually so nice and pretty. I've gotten to actually see stuff that I normally don't get to see. Why are we going so slow? I've gotten to see a whole bunch of stuff that I normally don't get to see because usually there's so much traffic that it's kind of stressful and you have to be like hardcore paying attention to everything. But right now there isn't. I mean, it's just a couple cars. It's really nice. So I am noting that for future reference for myself, that road tripping on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day can be great. Now, obviously, sometimes I want to spend that with my son. My son is at their friend's house right now. I keep forgetting that it's Christmas. I bought myself stocking stuffers, but didn't actually buy a thing to put them in because I was like, that's fine, I don't really care. So I have peanut M&Ms and Doritos. Totally like wackadoodle things that I would not. I buy peanut M&Ms a lot because they're actually a very good snack in the sense of the peanuts. But if you're gonna buy some candy, but the Doritos is not something I would normally buy. Spicy nacho Doritos, but it's kind of fun to have crazy things on a holiday. That is something that I will have later today. I got McDonald's coffee this morning, and the app said I could order it and have it, pick it up inside, which I tried to do, but the inside was actually locked, so then I had to go through the drive-through. So because I wanted to be able to use their restroom, you know. I ended up going to the restroom in the coffee shop that was right next door when my significant other went in there and got their drink. So I'm gonna put y'all away and just proceed on this road trip, and I'll talk to you in a bit. All right, terrible lighting, but I want to open my Christmas presents because people are like, did you open the present for me? You know what I mean? So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and do that. All right, this is the present from my son, and then I have a couple presents from my parents. So, oh, cool. My son got me a button-down flannel type shirt, and I'm imagining, yeah, so this is 100% cotton button-down flannel. I could use this on this trip. I actually don't have any button-down flannels right now because none of them are the right size. So it's actually very helpful. So thank you to my son. Now I'm gonna open up presents for my parents. I don't even remember what I put on this. Oh, it's an external DVD drive. I got this so I could hook it up to my laptop and watch DVDs when I'm in places that are unplugged. So I could bring some DVDs with me. I don't have any right now, but with me, and watch DVDs while I'm like in some remote place. Old-fashioned technology sometimes works better than new things when you're unplugged. Okay, what else do I got? Oh, it's a hammock. I totally forgot that I signed up for this on my Amazon list. Super fun. The hammock. And look how actually compact this is. This is good. I can actually carry this in my car. Okay, cool. And then one more thing. Yep. It is Field Guide to Birds. This looks nice. It's actually really heavy, like a thick book. Has good pictures in here. Sandpipers, gulls, hawks, flycatchers, thrushes, warblers, and sparrows. I know none of those things. Well, I know what a hawk is, but oh, this is nice. A visual index of bird families, so you can get the general idea so you can actually look it up. Because I was like, I don't know any. One thing that I actually want to start doing is, and it has pictures of where the birds are. I'm excited about this. I want to start using my binoculars, and when I do wildlife, looking at wildlife and actually understanding what the wildlife is, and including birds. Because the nice part about birds is birds are really everywhere. Other wildlife can be hard to find, but it's not horribly difficult to find birds. Cool. Yay! Thank you, everybody. One thing that's hard about traveling in the winter is that even if you're going to somewhere that is the desert, is southern Arizona, so it's not going to be cold, the sun is still going to set at like 4:30 in the evening. So it's like it's really hard to get somewhere and be able to set up in the light, I mean, I left the rest stop this morning at 6 a.m. I knew it was an 8-hour drive, but then you factor in the time change. I actually forgot to factor in the time change between California and Arizona, and then you factor in, stopping, getting coffee, stopping, getting fuel, etc. I mean, yeah, it's like, even for me in a car, getting there when it's still light is good. I've been close, but when you're pulling a trailer, you have to go slower, obviously. Yeah, we're going to be setting up in the dark, which is actually not that big of a deal. I don't think the campground is actually right off the highway, and I don't think it's going to be a big problem, but better to get places when it's light. But yeah, it's really hard. The sunset is 4:30. It's like, goodness, I don't know what to tell you. It's going to be hard to get somewhere by that time, unless you're not having to drive that far. But I mean, this is, relocating to a different part of the country. California has a lot of great things about it, but one of the things that's hard if you live at either side of the coast is anytime you want to go anywhere, you got to drive a lot because you're at the edge, you're not in the middle. It's one of the reasons, many reasons I decided to buy land in New Mexico, but one of them is because it's more centrally located for the western part of the United States. So easily able to access so many different sections of that, southwestern part of the United States. So coastal California, you gotta drive through a lot of I'm still in California. I'm driving diagonal, but I'm still in California. I've been driving for, yesterday, then today. I mean, yeah, it takes a long time to just get out of the state. So here's Quartzsite. Like, you can see all the RVs out there. Like a sea of RVs just out in the desert all over the place. I'm not getting off. I'm not really wanting to do it, of course, right now. But it's so kind of weird. It's like you think there's houses. Nope, it's just all kinds of RVs out there in the middle of the desert. It's like a city of RVs. So I'm somewhere in Arizona. Just drove through Quartzsite. It's kind of weird. My significant other is actually in Quartzsite right now. They're about like an hour behind me, and they're getting coffee at McDonald's in Quartzsite. I did not get off the highway there. Someday I'll drive through Quartzsite and actually get off, you know, and actually drive through the roads or whatever. It was so weird seeing all those RVs. I mean, just, yeah. It is a city of RVs. That's one of the reasons they decided to stop there, was because pulling a trailer, I mean, it's kind of normal to have an RV there. So I'm going to end up arriving at the campground probably an hour or two before them. Hopefully the campground lets me in and lets me go to the spot, because it's in my significant other's name, not my name. I am just the extra car, and so my name isn't on the reservation at all. There wasn't like a place to put my name, you know, so we'll see. I have the campground reservations, like I have the PDF or whatever, but it all depends on like how the person who handles it, are they like super rule based or not. The last time I went camping, I just said who I was. They didn't card my, I didn't ask for my ID or anything. I was just like, yep, I'm so and so. So we shall see. And also, I don't know if like my biggest concern is not concern. Like, I wonder is if they'll collect money at a gate. I'm thinking they won't be doing that, but like, collect money at a gate, you don't have to pay if you have campground reservations, but it's not my name that's on the reservation. So, we'll see. Worst case scenario, I just pay the money and I just hang out at the campground. I mean, I hang out at the park until my significant other gets there, and then I go in. What I'm actually hoping is that I can go in, go to the campsite. I can actually cook myself dinner. I might even go take a shower. You know, I'm going to be driving through at the outskirts of Phoenix, and if it wasn't Christmas Day, I could go to a Planet Fitness and take a shower, but here we are, it's Christmas Day, so all the Planet Fitnesses are closed. So I feel kind of like not the best. I would like to wash off, but because I didn't really like bathe this morning, I'm literally wearing the clothes I wore yesterday that I slept in. Not optimal. This is pretty though. I love the desert. Well, so at the campground, at the campsite, and my significant other is still, like, I don't know, hour and a half or something away. And they're actually visiting family member, and then they're going to head on down here. So obviously I'm completely set up to spend the night by myself. If for some reason they end up not getting here, the gates to this place close at 10. But yeah, it is interesting coordinating a road trip, coordinating travel with another person, because like in this case, I'm driving my car, they're pulling a trailer, so they have to go a lot slower. And so, you know, yeah, I arrived here many hours way before they did. So even though I stopped a lot more, you know, I still got way far ahead of them. So I'm just going to be chilling out and relaxing until they get here. Or if they end up not getting here tonight because the gates close at 10, then I will just be going to bed. And then they'll get here when they get here tomorrow. So one thing that's very different when you're traveling with another person is you do sometimes things that the other person wants, and also spend more time in certain places because the other person is still spending time. So my significant other is rolling photography, so I'm kind of done taking pictures. They are still taking pictures. So I'm just sitting here on a little step waiting. I should have gotten the car keys, but I forgot. I'm not walking all the way back because I'm just not in the mood anymore. But yeah, it is different. In a way, it's actually nice because I have a lot more time that I'm just sitting and chilling out. So it does make me slow down, which is actually very helpful. Yeah, so yes, I am inside of a camper. This is my significant other's
camper. They're off taking a shower at the campground. We don't have water hookups here. They don't even have water that you can put in your RV. So, but they have like nice showers. They're hot and they actually are free if you're staying here. So it's really nice. So I actually just did some work and we're doing a lot of relaxing kind of today and probably do stuff in the park that we're in. This is a state park. We've kind of planned out the next few days and stuff. But yeah, it actually is really nice to travel with another person, especially because the person I'm traveling with has been cooking me meals. So I haven't had to cook. I enjoy cooking, but having someone else make you nice food is very nice. Especially it's also different food that I don't normally eat, that I don't normally cook. So that has been lovely. Yeah, I mean, I'm really dedicated this time for us to be spending time together. And also making sure that it's not a stressful experience, that it is a very chill and relaxed experience. And so that's really what I've been doing here. Reminding myself that we're not in a hurry. We're doing this trip for 2 weeks and also there's no reason to hurry. And we don't have to do things at a very specific time because it's like noon. I'm going to make myself some lunch in a sec. And we actually haven't done anything today yet except for hang out, which is totally fine and is a thing that you're doing. And especially when you're traveling with other people, like one of the things that you're doing is actually being with those people that you're traveling with. And just hanging out at the campsite is a totally legit thing to do. You don't have to be going all the time. Yeah, I'm shooting this video by the light of my laptop. I'm parked on a random street in Phoenix right now, which is where my significant other's sister lives. And so we're here like visiting and stuff like that. And also my significant other is on call tomorrow for work. And so we needed to be in a place where we thought we would have good internet. But it's so funny. Like you can come to a big city. I mean, we're technically not in Phoenix. We're in one of the suburb cities, but come to a big city and not good internet. I think we might have had better internet at the last campground we were at. It's just like, so I don't know. So I actually am going to be working myself tomorrow. Probably not right here. Which is where we'll both sleep, but I'll probably go to like a park or library somewhere that has faster internet. And I mean, like the download speed is actually good. It's like 200, but the upload is like 1 or 0.8 or something. And I'm just like, It is really nice traveling with another person because you do get to share things and like share the things that you're doing together and then talk about the things you did yesterday. And, there is something really, really nice about that. But it is kind of interesting. You're dealing with someone else's logistical requirements. So we have very, very different ways we travel and kind of styles of travel. So that is, an interesting thing to, negotiate with another person. Anyway, I'm going to check my email and stuff like that. My significant other went into their sister's their sister's place to take a shower. And then we're allegedly going to go out to dinner. It's already 7:00 though. I don't know. I've been having to be on a much later schedule. I've been eating dinner at like the time where I used to go to bed. Like that's kind of what has happened. But definitely enjoying it and having a good time. We're spending 2 nights here in this area. So my significant other can be on call tomorrow. I guess they're on call for 24 hours. I don't really understand. But then we're going to go in 2 days. We will leave here and go up to another campground. And the whole rest of the trip, we're going to be in campgrounds, which I'm looking forward to because it is nice to like get into a campground and park and not have to drive at all for a couple of days. My significant other drives, disconnects the trailer and we take the truck. All right. I'm going to get to work later. Yeah. So today is a work day for me. We are parked in a suburb of Phoenix near my significant other's sister's apartment complex and on a quiet street. There's no difficulty in finding street parking here. That's for sure. Everything is so spread out. The streets are all so wide. Parking lots are all so big. It's so weird for me. Anyway, so I'm doing legal work and I also have videos for my law channel to edit. Today is normally a day I would put up a video, but I'm not. I do not have content ready to go to put up anything today. I have a video that's going to go up on Monday on the 1st, and then a video that's going to go up the next week for y'all on Monday. But then we'll see when I get back to actually vlogging. I mean, I'm filming, but I'm not, obviously, because that's what I'm doing right now. But I haven't edited anything. Today, as I said, I'm working. My significant other is on call for work, so Might not have to work at all. We'll see. But yeah, it's kind of good to have a day where you're back in town so you can take care of any things, run any errands you need. But really, the main reason we're here is to be so my significant other can have internet access because they're on call. The kind of ironic thing is there's horrible connection here with AT&T, but T-Mobile has a great connection. And my significant other has like one of these T-Mobile mobile home internet things. And so that's what I'm actually hooked up to right now. It has super fast internet. It's something that, you know, even in cities, there are places where you actually should have more than one internet provider if you're using mobile internet stuff for all the time. Because sometimes you can be in a big city and AT&T, for example, has absolutely no upload, like 0.02. It's like, I can't even send an email. What the heck? All right, anyway. So I'm going to get back to work. I will talk to you all later. Bye-bye. You know, it is nice traveling in an RV. I'm not literally in the traveling in the RV. I'm traveling in my car, but having access to an RV sometimes is there's 2 seats with a table in the middle, so you can use it as a desk. It is nice to have a desk, you know, or table in this case, for doing work or whatever. Like that is, I do have a little lap desk for my car, but, you know, being able to sit with your feet kind of in more normal position and do stuff at a table is nice. I mean, the thing is about having access to an RV is there are wonderful things about, you know, having an actual oven and a cooktop, and you can if you're plugged in, you can use the microwave. And I just went to the bathroom right here. You know, there's things that are very, very convenient. Now, if I was by myself with the car, I would be parked at a park or a library where I have access to the bathroom. So I would arrange for that, right? But, you know, and I was able to have lunch by just making a sandwich. I can make a sandwich in my car, but it actually is logistically easier to make it. You have access to a table and there's a fridge. That's a normal, you know, open the door fridge and all those things. There's a lot of things that are much more simple when you have access to this, but you don't have to take care of it. Because that's the thing is like hooking this up, dumping the tanks, all those things, a lot of logistics. It takes time every time. You know, when I'm traveling in my car, for me to leave a campsite or whatever is minutes. I mean, it's really not very long at all, you know. But packing up the camper is something that takes the morning. Because not only do you have to hook up and all that stuff, which takes a while, but you have to actually put everything away. You can't have stuff sitting on any surface because it'll be knocked over and fall on the floor. Everything has to have a place. And that takes time to put all that stuff away. And then obviously you also have the actual hooking up things and then unhooking when you get somewhere. Now, right now, the trailer is hooked up to the pickup truck. Like we're just leaving it hooked up like that this whole time we're here. No point unhooking and rehooking when it's just parked in the street. But when we're staying at a campsite, definitely do that. So yeah, it is nice having access to this, but I don't think that I would really want to be pulling a trailer myself. I don't see myself ever doing that all the time. If I do it, it's just going to be like maybe at certain times of the year, certain places I'm going, places where I'm going to pull in the trailer and I'm going to stay there for weeks or months, you know, maybe pulling it into my land and being there for periods of time, you know, something where I'm not going to have to go place to place to place, because that does not sound like something I would ever want to do. Also, there's some things that I have, you know, there is a shower in here, but it only really makes sense to do if you your tanks have to be full or you have to be hooked up. And I can just go to Planet Fitness and take a great shower. So, or at least a mediumly okay shower, depending upon the Planet Fitness. So, you know, there are features about having an RV that are super nice and I really do appreciate, but there's a whole lot of things that like having to deal with black tank and gray tank and all that, I have zero interest in it. I totally could see myself dealing with a gray tank, you know, having a sink is a maybe. I don't know if I would do it in my next rig, but in the future, but dealing with a black tank, no. I mean, someday it would be nice to have a composting toilet, but that would be the most I think I would ever do because, yeah, I don't know what to do with those chemicals and going to the dump station, all that. Hey, y'all. So one thing that kind of happens with traveling with another person is waiting. Obviously, this depends on who you are and who you're traveling with and stuff. But I find that I'm waiting a lot. And I kind of knew that going in because I knew the person that I'm traveling with
takes longer at things, takes longer at getting ready, and kind of has their own schedule. Also, we have different like times of day where we are high energy. So I'm high energy in the morning and midday, and they're high energy in the evening and such. So it's harder for them to get going in the morning, where in the evening I have troubles, which actually is helpful because it was always one person who tends to have energy. But it does mean that, like, if I was by myself, I would have left a really long time ago for the next thing. But I'm not. And so I'm waiting to leave effectively to go to our next place. We're still in town, and the campground opens at 2:00. I think it's like 2 hours away. I don't know, something like that. I think it might be less than that. It might be an hour and a half. I haven't looked. But so I'm waiting for them to get ready. Like I can go whenever time. One of the great things about living in a car is because there's very little getting ready that I need to do. Everything's already in here. If I'm at a campground, I may take a few things out. I may, set up my chair or whatever. Where's my chair? Set up my chair or whatever. But besides that, most of the things are already in my car, so I can just drive away, right? But when you're pulling a camper, then you have a lot more things to set up. And even like here where we didn't disconnect, there's still all the stuff you took out while you're stopped, and you have to put all those things away, which takes time to do. So I have put away a whole bunch of things that I didn't put away before I left town, reorganized some things, finally put my boots in the boot bag things that I got, I don't know, a month and a half, 2 months ago, a really long time ago, and I hadn't actually put them away yet. And it fits just barely, but it fits. So I'm really glad about that. It's a pack of 2, and the other ones I'll use for snow boots that I don't yet own yet. I actually made a list of some stuff that I need to buy before I do my snow trip, whenever that is going to be. And I need snow boots, I want snow boots. I want a actual coat, a true coat with a hood that's like waterproof and stuff. That'll be good if it's actively snowing. And I also want those things that go on your shoes that can grip ice. I'm gonna go, but I'll talk to you later. Bye. Okay, the sprawl of the Phoenix metropolitan area is just breathtaking. How wide all the streets are, how far apart everything is. There's such a car-oriented place. Then they have signs that say the smog is terrible. Yes, of course it is. It is so insane to build cities like this in the middle of the desert. Oh my goodness.
In 2 miles, take exit 287 for Arizona 260 toward Arizona 89A, Cottonwood.
Wow, this place is beautiful. I haven't driven 17 North in Arizona for a couple decades. And yeah, last time my car broke down. So in a campground, I'm here. My significant other's not here. I don't know, 30 minutes around behind me. We have such a bad connection. We can't really talk on the phone besides acknowledging each other's continued existence. But anyway, at this campground, these are the kind of campers I don't really stay at because I don't really look for electric hookups or any of that kind of stuff. We got this because we have the trailer, the RV, and it has electric and water hookups. But my significant other, I guess, thought that it must have sewer hookup because they thought that, of course it would. That's full hookups, but it doesn't have sewer hookup. And then this is one of those things where it's hard when you're coordinating travel with another person because different people have different assumptions and things that they need and require. But also, like, when you travel to different states, this typical thing of that state park is different. So in California, almost no state parks have any hookups at all. They just don't have that. There's other states I've been to, Missouri, Nebraska, where it seems like almost every site has electric and water. Even the tent sites have electric and water. Well, apparently here in
Arizona, there are primitive sites that have no hookups at all. Then there are sites that have electric, and then there are sites that have electric and water. There may also be sites that have electric, water, and sewer. I actually don't know. It may have been ones that were taken, but they consider them all to be separate. So there's places that have electric and not water, and you know what I mean? Like it's in, so you have to be really careful about what you're looking for. Also, we made these reservations just a couple weeks ago, so we had to take what was available, you know. We did not have our pick of every single place in the state. I think the thing is, I'm a very, very rustic camper, you know. I'm fine not taking a shower at all. I can just give myself a washcloth bath. You know, I am much more rustic, as they would say for certain campsites in Arizona. Well, some other people are very miserable that way. I don't know.
We should plan a hike down the river.
Hey all. So yes, it is cold. It actually was snowing a little bit before. So I'm at the south rim of the Grand Canyon, and it is chilly, and I'm actually in a pickup truck. This is not my vehicle. And yeah, it's nice to not have to drive, I'll tell you that. One of the things though about the south rim is it is like, in the kind of main part, it is so busy. That is not my scene. It's kind of stressful. But here, when you drive down the roads to like look at the various rim views or whatever, it's more kind of what I think of as kind of normal national parkness, you know, not like you're at freaking Disneyland or something. So this is much more my scene. I went and looked at everything, and now they're going to look. And the reason is that there's a trouble with the key, that you can't take the key out without taking apart, disconnecting the battery. So life is a little bit interesting, but anyway, someone just saw me filming. It's always kind of funny when that happens. So I'm eating a snack and waiting until they come back from there. My significant other is really into photography. So there's a lot of me waiting for them to take photos. It's funny because I'm more of a videographer versus a photographer, even though I do take photos. And strangely, video takes me less time. I don't know why. I think it's also because I'm just doing it on an iPhone, and I'm kind of doing this vlog kind of way, which takes less time when it really comes down to it.